is Olga Guseva, a fantastic keynote speaker, here to talk about customer-centric culture, your one and only strategic competitive advantage. And I see Olga on the screen. Olga, как дела? I'm saying, how are you in Russian? We won't do the rest of it in Russian, but здравствуй, как дела?
Как дела? Добрый день.
Добрый день.
Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, and it's my true pleasure meeting you. Hello, Nadine. And yes, really, let me start by actually asking you a question. How frequently you hear from your, I don't know, from anywhere that the company is really number one, that the customer shall go first, that the customer is the king? Please use the Q&A section to press 1 on your keyboard in Q&A section if you have heard this recently from somewhere, from a company that you are buying products or services from. So it's actually quite common. Yes, thank you. It's actually quite common that we hear it from somewhere, that companies are claiming that customer is number one, customer is the king. But now take a breath and think, actually, how many times you as a customer had experienced not perfect, let's put it that way, customer service, that you felt that the company doesn't really care for you, that the company behaves in a greedy way, or employees are rude. And again, that's quite common thing to happen. If you think back about your recent experience, you would most probably find out examples when you have experienced it as a customer. So obviously there is a big contradiction. How comes that there's so many companies claim that customer experience is so important for them, and at the same time you as a customer see that it's not really happening? And on an intuitive level, it's pretty clear and understandable that good customer experience brings company to success. So what is not really happening here? Why it's not coming into action? In my view, that's because top managers or owners of the companies don't really buy into CX. CX people frequently come to top management to ask for resources or suggest a project. And what they frequently hear is, well, that's not really the priority. Well, we don't really have the resources now. Well, it's not the best time. Let's postpone it for a while. Why is it happening? Most probably, in many of the cases, that's happening because executives don't see the value of customer experience directly on their business. It's like customer experience is not about the color of the uniform or size of the smile of customer-facing employees. It's really about money. It is about commercial performance. And there are numerous research all across the globe that tells us that actually customer experience is directly related to commercial performance. Just as one example, the very extensive research done by Professor Lyndon Brown have discovered that 53% of the commercial success of the company is explained by the level of customer centricity of a corporate culture. So why really this link is not working for many companies? Sometimes when executive people hear all those numbers from big international research, they say, well, okay, it's just somewhere there on that side. It's them, not us. So the question is, what is it for me? How's my company performing? What's the link for me between my commercial performance and my customer experience? And the first takeaway I would like to share with you today is really get together with your customer experience people and understand what's the value of customer experience in your specific company. What's the value of one happy customer? What's the risk and what's the cost of one complaint? So by understanding this, you get you're gonna get better understanding how important customer experience is for you, and you need to make sure it's your team. Going further, and you can ask me a question. Well, Olga, hold on. We are not in customer experience. We are in sales, or we are in IT, we are in accounting. There are special CX folks in the company who are responsible for taking care of the customer. So basically, why should I care? And the answer is actually customer experience is not only about CX department. It's a cultural discipline. It's about every single employee, because every single employee in a company is responsible for building customer experience. Say, let's imagine an IT person who have never ever seen a customer. He's probably even sitting in a different building, but he is contributing to customer experience by, I don't know, updating or working on a system that holds information that telesales people are using. And because of this IT person, a telesales can give quick information to a customer. An accountant who, again, have never seen a customer is responsible for delivering the bills timely, accurately, and quickly. So everyone within the company is contributing to building a customer experience. If you are in sales or if you are in marketing, you have a very important role. You build customer expectations. And if you have built them properly, that means the customer won't be disappointed that you have done the right thing. So the takeaway number 2 is really, again, think about your role in building customer experience. What is your role and what is your value? What's your contribution into customer experience? And think how you can do it better. And now let me share with you, because I'm a CX person, customer experience person, so let me share with you several CX tools that can really help you in your everyday job to make your life better and that can help you perform your everyday duties better. Actually, have you ever heard about such a tool as Customer Journeymap or CJM? Have you ever heard, Nadine?
Yes, I have.
Great. Okay, so actually it's quite popular, and more companies also in Russia start using it now. Basically, what is Customer Journeymap? That's a representation of all steps of interaction between the company and the client. And if I'll be able to share my screen, I'll show you how it would look. Hold on. Yeah, it could look like this. Don't care, it's in Russian. It's not about reading the details, just giving you the picture. It could look like this, or it could look like this. It doesn't really matter how specifically the customer journey map looks like, but the basic idea stays the same. You go step by step, you follow the customer, and you find out every single stage what the customer is doing, what the customer is, what are the needs and the emotions the customer is experiencing. And you follow and needs, thoughts, demands, feelings, and emotions, going together with the customer the whole way. And actually, it's a tool that is used by CX people, but it's because if you know you're doing great, isn't product. If you know where the pains and fears are, you know how to deal with the objections, customer objections, so you can give more value to the customer. The second tool, so this is tool number 1. Get together with your CX folks, study the customer journey map together, and you will find a whole lot of valuable insights how you can interact with your customers better. The second tool I want to share with you is called CX personas. Actually, why the whole idea of personas appeared, it actually came to us from marketing. And the reason behind that is that customers are different. We cannot explain everything by looking at one single customer, so we start segmenting the customer database into groups that behave and feel in a similar way. But while marketing personas are more concentrated on the way people are buying the products or services, CX personas are more about how people use the product. It could look, for example, like that. And actually, persona is nothing more than a typical representation of a typical representative over this self. How this person looks like, what's the age, what's the what's the gender, what's the goals, what are the interests, preferences, skills, what exactly this person likes. And again, by understanding this, we can get extremely valuable insights. How can we bring more value to this person? And last but not least, the third tool I want to share with you, it's the customer loyalty and notion of customer loyalty, which is frequently measured with the help of NPS metric, which is also quite widely known both in Europe, and we use it a lot in Russia and in many other countries as well. And why loyalty is important? It's very simple, because loyal customers are buying more, they are buying more frequently, they are more eager and more ready for cross-selling and upselling, and the source of leads for you. And again, loyalty gives you customer loyalty, the level of customer loyalty gives you a very good understanding of how to distribute your resources and set up the priorities the right way. So basically, the tool number 3 that you can use is in customer loyalty and the metrics of customer loyalty that can be discussed and analyzed together with the CX team so that you could search for valuable insights regarding your customer base. And basically, that's all I wanted to share with you today. And please use this opportunity to collaborate with your CX team to develop customer-centric culture in your department and in the organization as a whole, work on commercial success, and build your competitive advantage. So happy collaboration, and thank you very much for your attention.
Очень хорошо. Thank you very much indeed, Olga. And I know you're managing director of one of the very few companies in Russia that concentrate on customer experience. So thank you very much for sharing those very tangible and actionable tools for people to think about. And what struck me, actually, you talked about customer loyalty, but when you actually acquire new customers, how can you ensure that you give them the right customer service? And would you say what applies in Russia is different to, say, in other parts of the world?
Well, probably in this aspect, Russia has no difference with other parts of the world, because it's universal. We as customers, we love to be treated well. We love to be respected. We love when company knows what I love, what I prefer, what I like, what's important for me. And it's a job of the company to understand that and to do its best to fulfill my needs and my desires.
Indeed. And what are the biggest challenges when it comes to customer experience during a crisis or a pandemic? How have you adapted to these set of circumstances?
Well, actually, we are in touch with the big number of customer experience specialists across Russia and globally. And for those 3 or 4 months already, we are sharing the experience between the experts. How do companies cope with this situation and what are they doing? So in a way, we are helping each other and sharing the knowledge to explain what companies in different parts of the world are doing, but few things are really universal. And first thing that's like a common learning that comes from all across the world, that customer experience matters. And the companies who have been doing good job pre-COVID, who have been caring about the customers, who have been willing to find out more about the customer, they are now reaping off the benefits because they see loyal customers who are ready to understand some imperfections in product and service, etc. And they can enjoy this loyalty. And the companies who have been taking it as granted, they have faced a very difficult situation when customers are just going away and they cannot do anything about it. So the lesson learned from this COVID situation is really customer experience and customer loyalty matters. And the second thing, that emotions are important. Of course, the physical features of the product are important, but I mean, there are really few unique products in the world. And even if you have a unique product now, today or tomorrow, it's going to be copied by competitors and you are no longer unique. The only sustainable competitive advantage is your customer experience that grows from customer-centric culture. And that's the second lesson a lot of companies have learned, and now they're investing time and efforts into building this culture.
Indeed, that rings so true. I think of all the brands that I really like, when I've spoken to them in the last 3 or 4 months, there's that emotional dialogue that you may not have had with them before, but they've got that deep understanding. And, you know, I want to hear how they're doing as much as they want to hear how I'm doing. It's quite extraordinary, actually, some of the conversations I've had with brands that, you know, usually you see them as very functional, and that's all I want usually, but it's a deeper relationship, the brands that have got it right. So I think that's spot on. So very quickly, how about a customer experience success story for you? I know that you speak at conferences, you're a judge on multiple awards, you're a renowned expert in Russia and beyond. A success story for you, and what made the difference?
Okay, let me share you a small story, a recent story, and it's about a very, very small company. So there's like, sometimes people think that customer experience is for big brands that have huge customer experience, etc. So it's not necessarily the case. And let me tell you the story of a small dance studio that's based in St. Petersburg, Russia. And imagine what? Dancing studio. That's all about personal interaction. That's all about being physically close to another people. And then COVID comes and the whole studios are supposed to be closed, and this studio as well. And while other studios are saying, well, we have to wait, what can we do? Those guys, they're saying, no, we are not giving up. We want to be in touch with our customers. And they start doing different things. They started online lessons via Zoom. It felt strange in the beginning, but the most important message, the owner of the studio have called every single customer and asked, would you like to try that? Let's try together. That's going to be an experiment. It's not going to be perfect, but let's make it. So they have done it, and it worked. They started running online lessons. It's not the same, but still it's a connection with the customers. And it's a feeling of being together, of being in touch. And guess what? Now they have run an online dance festival with people sitting at home. And this is a great sense of being together with all those people. This is what this small studio have done for everyone who is attending. So I guess this is a very good example how customer experience can really make a difference.
Yeah, and that's a lovely example. Actually, my father was born in St. Petersburg, so I'm actually half Russian, Olga. So I've got a lot of love for that place, and I'd love to meet you one day. Thank you so much. From Russia with love, Olga Guseva. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.